Hello, welcome to the English Language and English Literature presentation. I'm Mr. Lopez, Head of English, and I'm going to hopefully show you how English at our school is challenging, academic and enjoyable. So our English story for all students begins in Key Stage 3. It includes vocabulary, complex sentences, relentless emphasis on grammar, big weekly composition activities, and a range of literary texts. You can see some of them the students have covered there. Our Key Stage 3 was challenging. We hoped it was fun though. We enjoyed teaching it. But it was a beginning. It's the foundation or the midway point of Key Stage 4, which we see as the culmination of the 5-year English curriculum, the bespoke curriculum we've made for our students here. So students in Key Stage 4, when they do language and literature, they have new challenges, but they have the same high expectations for every student, regardless of their starting point. We don't go top, middle or bottom, we just give the highest possible lesson and experience we can for everyone. I suspect that's why our results have been so good, and it's why students seem to love English so much at Quennevais. Also, there will be new texts and experiences, but they will be grounded in familiar classroom routines, the things our students are really used to. So that means as soon as they start year 10, they can just pick up where they left off. Here's what I mean. All of our English lessons in Key Stage 4, they still begin with retrieval practice, a way of embedding knowledge. They contain high quality modelling and model examples. We always focus on the importance of the sentence. The sentence is fundamental to success in English. If you can't craft and form a sentence, which is a complete thought, you're going to struggle with paragraphs and larger tasks. We try and involve discussion as much as possible still, and a massive part of English at Quennevais is lots of silent, extended practice. Sounds almost punishing, but it is the best way of building up the kind of stamina and resilience students need to succeed in their exams, in the big long terminal 2-hour papers or extended pieces. So those routines established over 5 years and built on, they help our students achieve success. And I guess the biggest, there's several sources of proof. One of them is look at the results, they're good, or they're very good. My favourite one is ask students. You ask students about English and 9 out of 10 times they've got fond memories or really enjoy it and feel challenged. But you can also just pick up a book or pick up some work. So let's have a look at our Cambridge GCSE English language as somewhere to look for proof. So it's a 50% exam focusing on reading, which is done in year 11, and 50% of quite challenging coursework on writing. And again, as I've said, writing has been a massive part of Key Stage 3. So students are almost ready at the start of year 10 for this. This is what happens when we put them to the test. This is some from this year. A year 10 student, mixed ability class, this is her response to Blake's London, a descriptive piece. Past the chaos, behind the eerie slums, and now into the darkest paths of London, I heard a cough and cry. Deep in my thoughts and emotions, I entered a gloomy corner. I saw something. An inch of flickering light caught my eye, closed behind a chipped door. Intrigued, I pushed it open. With a creak, I crept round the door, and there, sat on a block of wood, over a puddle of colourless sludge, a girl and her sister were shivering. Okay, so obviously that's a good bit of writing, but how is that proof that the curriculum works here? Well, let me try and explain that. That opening sentence, that orangey one, that uses a pattern of prepositional phrases. They're phrases that are taught in our sentences lessons in year 7, 8 and 9. And we move down to the green 3-word sentence. Students every week are begged to put 3-word sentences into their compositions, just for a bit of variation. The yellow word intrigued comes from a vocabulary list given out in year 8 and returned to in those retrieval quiz practices I spoke about earlier. With a creak, the blue piece is a fronted adverbial, again, part of weekly compositions. And finally, that really complex sentence at the end. I've underlined it. The bit I've underlined is the main clause. It's what we call a periodic sentence structure, a more complex one that's taught often in year 9. Now, all of these put together, I can look back and see individual lessons and experiences in Key Stage 3. We often tell the students Key Stage 4 is the business end. It's where they get to put all of the things they've learned into practice and to practice them again in Key Stage 4, and then when it counts to turn it into coursework or exam responses. So the curriculum works, and it really works best when you've had 5 years to work on it. So English literature, well, We do Cambridge for language and we do Edexcel for literature, and they're the texts we cover. Some very familiar classic texts there. Um, those texts have all of those classic themes and more, including the final two, which aren't technically classic themes, but they're in there. So once again, those routines and methods established in Key Stage 3, this is where they pay our students back. And something we do at our school, more so than many others, is we explicitly teach advanced vocabulary. This helps students unlock higher marks. Here's just a taster of some of the Key Stage 4 vocabulary for inspector calls. You can see some pretty complex words there, like polemical, hedonism, laissez-faire, individualist even. Now, these aren't just exclusively for the top set. Of course, they get these and they get more. All right, these are for every student that does English literature. Okay, it's this idea of what we set the bar high at the Quennevais, like very high, challenging all groups of students, and unsurprisingly, they all seem to do rather well. So what is the big picture? What's the point of all this? Well, the point of it is there are 2 points to school, and 2 points to English. One is qualification, the business end. Get those GCSEs with us for English language and literature and open the door into your next stage of life, further educational training. There's also English is a beautiful subject in the sense that it helps socialise. By reading old texts and argumentative pieces, you learn to engage with other people's viewpoints outside your own. You develop a capacity to empathise. You appreciate the power and potential of language, which I think more than ever in our sort of interconnected online world is really important. So to recap, English at the Quennevais is high challenge and low threat because the students are already familiar with the routines and the expectations and the teachers. We have new texts, we have new familiar methods. We're relentlessly academic and our students enjoy English and all students feel cleverer. There's no filler in the lessons. We don't waste a moment. And the GCSE is the culmination of our bespoke 5-year curriculum. So their English journey begins in year 7. And we really look forward to seeing them complete it, making the progress we know they're going to make. So our subject here is challenging, it's academic and it's enjoyable. And you can find us there where the glowing arrow is as you come in with the first wing to the right. And our importance is suggested in this image by the fact that all of those students in the bus stop seem inextricably drawn to the glowing arrow. I'd like to thank you all from the English department at the Quennevais and look forward to seeing you soon.